All right. Welcome everyone to how CADENAS and EPLAN are helping engineers design faster with manufacturer certified EPLAN product data. My name is Adam Beck. I'm the Director of Marketing here at CADENAS USA, and I am joined by Jeffrey Abel, our Director of Technical Services. He's going to be our subject matter expert today. I'm super excited. This is some really cool cutting edge features that we're talking about today. One bit of housekeeping is there is a Q&A window. If you have questions, feel free to just drop them in there. We'll address those at the end, and hopefully we'll answer anything that you might have. If not, we will figure it out for you. So with that, let's get going. So today we're going to talk about how CADENAS and EPLAN are working together, the new partnership, some of the challenges for electronics manufacturers, how manufacturers can publish the EPLAN data that customers need, and how you can increase visibility on your website and external platforms by providing this kind of content. And I'm going to just hit the lobby button here because it's really blowing up about the Read AI meeting notes. Okay, check, sure, Read AI meeting notes. All right, back to it. So just setting a baseline, what is eCATALOG 3D Find It by CADENAS? This is our online tool that helps component manufacturers deliver product data, configurators, 3D previews, and configured PDF data sheets on demand. Those are all qualified sales leads that happen right from your website. They help you build a great digital customer experience. It makes engineers want to come again and again, and it frees up your team from having to address those on-demand CAD requests. So it's really lead gen, customer success, and engineering support all in one. And yes, read AI notes.
I'll start letting people in, Adam, as they pop up, so you can keep rolling.
Thank you. The dinging. So really, what is the challenge today for electronics manufacturers? Many still rely on those PDF catalogs and data sheets, and few are offering those well-structured, up-to-date, dynamic EPLAN macros that engineers need. This reduces engineering efficiency, and it reduces the consistency for users. So they might have to do different things in different ways to get components into an overall design. So this new partnership with CADENAS and EPLAN is two companies working together to add complementary details, functions, and accessibility, and the goal is to deliver highly efficient, scalable, quality component data for EPLAN users. In short, it's what CADENAS has been doing for years and years for mechanical product manufacturers, providing all the formats that they know and love: Inventor, Solid Edge, SolidWorks, CATIA, Creo, NX, as well as many other BIM formats, but now the added layer of those EPLAN macros. And Jeff, do you want to talk a little bit about what those EPLAN macros actually contain?
Yeah, so there's, of course, quite a bit that goes into an EPLAN data set, right? And so what we're going to provide meets all those needs. The first part is this XML file. That's the structured product data, and that's going to include things like part numbers, descriptions, potentially ratings or certifications, all that kind of detail, the function templates, et cetera. So that's sort of the backbone that sets all the product data. We also have the 2D data, of course, and that's going to be for anybody, if you're laying out your panel in 2D, you can certainly get the physical dimensions and everything from the parts that we provide, drag and drop those, move them around on your panel as you're laying everything out to check fit and so on. Same with the 3D, right? If you've moved on to the 3D design with some of the enhanced 3D features, you're going to be able to drop that model, that 3D model, directly onto your panel, make sure that it fits, line everything up, and you know, get that 3D visual, kind of that virtual version or the digital twin version of your 3D model. We include the connection points. You see these red arrows that we've got on our models. Those will look probably very familiar to an EPLAN user, but that is the information about where the connections go physically, but also the attributes of those connections. What type of connection? Is it a screw connection? Is it a spring clamp? Things like that. How many connections you're allowed to have, what the minimum maximum sizes are, all that good stuff. And then last but not least is these mounting locations. And that's going to show exactly how that part mounts to either your mounting panel or whatever you're mounting it to, or if you're using a rail, it's going to snap onto that rail so that as you're positioning and laying out all your components, it's very intuitive to use that. And that information gets passed through. For example, like the mounting points, those can be passed through to an NC machine to automatically cut those things. So adding everything you would want in a complete EPLAN data set, we're delivering that with these kind of 5 key features that we've got. And so what we've got today is we do have that structured and standardized EPLAN user data for EPLAN users. What you can do on 3D Find It, we'll show you here in a minute, is you can go and find that component. You can review the documentation. You can visualize the product with the 3D viewer that we have. Download the EPLAN files. Comes with the EDZ package, right? That everything all in one. Add that to your EPLAN database and then start dropping it into your designs. And it's all built, specifically for the EPLAN audience, right? It is that EPLAN format ready to go directly into your EPLAN Pro panel or P8 or, for your schematics, panel layout, all that good stuff.
Awesome. So I'm going to switch the screen over to you, and I'll let you show this in action a little bit.
Sure thing. So hopefully everyone will see my 3D Find It. So
nope. You got to turn the. Oh, I got to turn it on.
Oh,
sorry. There we go.
Got it. Okay, cool. So this is our 3D Find It homepage that hopefully everyone's seen before. But from here, you can go and you can browse all of our catalogs. You can do searches, things like that. Since we're working with electrical today, I'm going to jump right to Rockwell Automation. Again, certainly a huge partner of ours. And from here, you've just got standard catalog navigation. Where you can just come in and basically choose whatever components you're looking for, navigate through. It's really straightforward, almost like a Windows Explorer type of path that you've got to navigate through. So what's really cool about that is once you've gotten to a part, you can see here I've got my view in 3D. Not only do I have the 3D model, I've got these dimensions on it, so really nice to quickly and easily verify that. But I've also got, in these red arrows, the connection point information. So this will give me details on that connection point, and I can actually go in and see this is connection 1. It's a screw connection with minimum and maximum cross-sectional areas or AWG values, what direction it's coming through, and all those things. So what's really nice about that is all that information is going to flow out to the EPLAN content that we develop. And we have that for all of the electrical connections that you would have on this device. Further, we have, in this case, just the single mounting point. As you can see, this is strictly a rail-mounted device, but we've added that connection point there so that when you put that on your DIN rail, again, it's going to snap right to it, and you can slide it along your DIN rail and EPLAN to properly align it. And so we've got a lot of this content available. What's also cool is if you have a specific part, I'm going to search for 140 MT here. You can actually do a search for exactly that part, and you can see it's going to take me directly to this model. I've got my description, my part number, and from here, I'm ready to download my files. We got the huge file list, right, that we're kind of world famous for here at CADENAS with all the various formats that we've got. But we've also included these EPLAN formats for download too, whether you want IEC or NFPA. Both are available. Of course, it'll adapt to the symbol library that you're using, as well as the layout scheme, vertical versus horizontal, kind of the spacing, right, what size grid you're on, et cetera. So we'll choose our EPLAN file, and it's going to go and generate that for me. And actually, once I download that, I'll be able to show it's going to be an EDZ file that we've created, right? And you would integrate that directly into your EPLAN exactly as you have other product data you've downloaded. So I'm going to pause just for a minute here, just again show you kind of the 3D Find It here, and then switch over to into ePlan, and so save some time. We've already integrated that product into our ePlan database here. So as you see, it's got all the product data that's going along. That includes descriptions, reference to the connection point pattern, any attributes that have been built into that. You can see the 3D view even is included. All the macros are built and included. That's for the 2D and the 3D as well. The function template, you can see that will include all the functions that we need. So all that data is available, ready to drop into our design. We're going to come in here and actually take this unit and we're going to replace it with the one that we just downloaded. So pull that up, go and assign the part to it. And again, you'll see when we go, that Rockwell part is automatically in our database. We can find it there and drop that in. Overwrite our existing one. Just make sure we've got all our manufacturer data and everything straight. So once we get that plugged in, we'll go assign that part, apply, and then that's going to be what goes to our device list, what goes over for our bill of materials, everything. So now in this schematic, that is kind of declared as that Rockwell 140 product, making sure that that's what we have when we go to the purchasing department. Likewise, over here on the 3D, I'm going to pull this up and take this and replace it with the Rockwell part again that we just downloaded, and we'll show you how you can, again, integrate that very quickly and easily. Grab that part, overwrite the existing one that we've got there and place on the 3D. Make sure all our supplier information and everything is correct, and go ahead and once this catches up, we'll see that it will replace the 3D model that's kind of standing in there with the new one that we just downloaded. So you can see, hey, there's that new 140 that we've got in there. And as you go, you can click and slide that along. You'll see it'll snap to the midline of that DIN rail based on that connection point that we built into it. So again, that functions exactly like you'd expect, so easily snaps onto those rails for layouts. Looking at the connection points, you can see then that we've got all of the red connection points, just like we saw on the 3D Find It site. That has all that information available there that all passed through. And now in routing these, it's going to take all those connections and it's going to route it to the other devices that we've got. So it supports all of those automated tools that ePlan has, right? That automatic wire routing that saves a lot of time and finds ideal pathways and things. And so compared to having gone and either built this myself or gone and had to download a 3D model, add it in, go click, make all those connection points kind of manually, you have this all-in-one data set directly from 3D Find It. Supports all of the ePlan functionality that you'd look for. We didn't show the 2D layout, but obviously that can be included as well with the 2D macros that we've got. And just a real quick and easy way for users to get the data they want, get it into their ePlan database and into their projects. Of course, that's great for manufacturers, helping you get your parts selected by the people that are doing these panel layouts, these panel designs, and really streamlining that process for everyone.
But these components would be inside of an enclosure that could have dozens of other components. And if you're thinking, I mean, I'm just seeing the time savings here. If you have every one of those that you have to figure out every wiring connection and every mounting point manually, that could be hours and hours of extra time spent versus these snap into place and wire right up.
Yeah, it is really amazing how much time and frankly money is saved with some of these automated wire routing things, not just in terms of the time to lay them out, but even, you know, reducing scrap wire and finding the ideal length. So having these next level features for the electrical engineers is absolutely critical. Yeah.
Yeah, even accuracy. I think there's a whole level of accuracy here to making sure all those wiring connections are going to the right place, that it sure makes it easier.
Yeah, and it'll check too if you've tried to connect a giant wire to a device that can't handle that amperage or voltage, or even physically isn't big enough to take that connection, it'll flag that. So it's not just, hey, this is where the wires connect, but having the details of how they connect can impact strip lengths, and it really starts to cascade into really great levels of detail that are all things that the ePlan platform and this enriched data helps you avoid, mistakes or wasted time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks. So summarizing the whole thing here, this idea is to enable electronics manufacturers to stand out from the crowd. By delivering high quality ePlan macros on demand, they're reducing electrical design time for users and differentiating themselves from the other manufacturers who may only have a static PDF or static files. Ideally, this is going to increase usage and trust by users, keeping them coming back again and again. So with that, let's jump to the Q&A. I have a couple of questions here. The first one that I see is it possible, I have an existing eCatalog catalog, is it possible to add these functions to my existing content?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you've already got a catalog with CADENAS, then we can absolutely go in and we call it like enriching. We can add that ePlan and ECAD information onto your existing catalog. So it's definitely not starting from scratch. It's really just adding on and doing that enrichment. What's great about that is we've already got the mechanical side built. We've already got the geometry there. It's already been approved through our QA checks and stuff. So you really got a head start on it if you've got a CADENAS catalog already.
Awesome. How do you start if you have nothing? What do you need from a manufacturer to build the catalog as a starting point?
Yeah, so generally what we need is the documentation for the products, and that can be product manuals and things, and that's where we would get information, ratings, connection points, attributes and things like that, and then drawings or existing CAD files in order for us to create the geometry. So we typically work from all existing documentation, right? It's infrequent or uncommon that you would have to create something just for us. But yeah, we'll take a look at your existing documentation and kind of see what the time and effort would be, and go from there. It's really pretty easy to get started with us because you already know how to make the products. You've already got things documented. We're just going to help take it to the next level.
Excellent. And the last one that I have is, will this content work with other ECAD systems?
It will, yeah. So we do a lot of the enrichment via the eClass system, and so that will transfer over to other ECAD programs as well. So that's another nice feature is, you are building it and you're enriching it in the CADENAS catalog, and from there we've got all that multi-format output. So it does definitely help you reach a wide audience in that way, and it's not limited just to one platform.
Yeah, we do have one more question. Who are the typical users or companies of ePlan software?
Yeah, so that's a great question. It's typically the electrical engineers at a firm that specializes in automation or anybody that's laying out the schematics of something, and that could be small scale things like a single robot station. For somebody, that could be a huge, large scale plant that would be automating the full paint line of an automotive assembly plant. And all the robots that go into that, all the PLCs, the safety curtains, right, that are set up, those light barriers, Disney Imagineers, right, as they're setting up a new ride and they're automating all those cool animatronics. Basically, anybody that's doing electrical engineering is going to be someone that can benefit from having these tool sets available to them. Yeah.
Well, they're still coming in. So you kind of touched on this, but what kind of components does this support? Is it only for the electronic components, or is there other associated products that need this enrichment or can benefit from this enrichment?
Yeah, the primary focus is going to be the in-cabinet components as well as the cabinets themselves, right? So all these things that go inside an electrical enclosure, be that an aluminum or a stainless or polypropylene, we'll have the enclosures. That's something that benefits from the enrichment as well, so that you can use that. And then circuit breakers, variable frequency drives, terminals, right? As you get those big, huge terminal stacks, wiring all those up is great. Sensors are a nice one too, and a lot of times some products benefit more from the electrical schematic side than from the 3D side, and a little bit vice versa. But anything that is going to be controlled or receiving a signal or power to or from an electrical enclosure, that's pretty much going to be a target. There's yeah, virtually no limit, right, to anything electrical.
Perfect. Well, that's it for the Q&A. Thanks, Jeff, for helping us talk about how easy it is to deliver the data that engineers need with this new CADENAS and ePlan partnership.
Awesome.
If anyone has questions or wants to see some more details, see their products in this tool, shoot us an email at info@partsolutions.com. We'd be happy to help. We can even put you in touch with Jeff himself. He's going to have a short autograph session after this. All right. Thanks, everyone.